G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. This will be my Knackers Yard. I am trying a different phone app, camera app, to see if I can get some better footage, because it keeps jumping from trying to focus from one side to another and it's getting frustrating. I've also remembered to put on my proper mic. I put it on charge last night. Right, so what we're doing? We're doing valve shim replacement. Now, I have to admit, I have done the exhaust in the inlet of 4 relatively late last night, just to check how to use the tool as much as anything else. So let's work on the cumulative knowledge that I've got from that, and I'll set you up and we'll do one together. Right, so here we go. We do exhaust first. So it's a case of turning the engine round in the normal fashion till it is fully depressed. Fully depressed. Till it is all the way down. Doing that with a 22 spanner. Breaking out your little kit, which effectively consists of a depressor and 1x bolt. So it's then a case of getting down to a decent length, trying to keep it central, so there's no weight on that at the moment at all. It's a little Allen key that come with it. It's not one of my posh ones, but if it came with it, why not use it? It's my thinking. So effectively, this needs to be, there's no torque setting, just needs to be tight. Now get your 22 out again. Now the dangerous bit is to make sure that you rotate the engine so the load moves away from the tool, not crushing into the tool, which does mean that when you're doing the intake side, it feels a bit weird because you're actually rotating the engine the wrong way. Not doing it a lot, it's not going to cause any fundamental issues. So I've now moved the lobe out of the way. Just while I've got the mic on, moving around a bit today. I haven't got everything on top of me because I'm desperate not to knock over my stash over there of shims, because I've got them set up 1 to 4 on both sides. It's a bit of a pain to get out. I don't have a magnet small enough to fall in there. So 275. Ooh, 275. So that is on the exhaust side. Oh, no, that's correct. 275. Just so that you see, I am checking against my sheet of knowledge. Oh, one was 275, so I'm just double checking that I'm making the correct adjustment. So 275 out, 265 in, 265 in. It's a case of dropping it in. Light isn't fantastic here. Getting that nice comforting click as it goes in. Now I have to rotate backwards here, which feels very strange indeed. I have to say, it feels very counterintuitive to turn an engine the wrong way. It would probably be easier if I didn't have the spark plugs in. So I'm now supporting the bucket. There was a slight click you may have heard as it settled the shim. And ladies and jelly spoons, it is that simple. I'm always worried about calling things simple, because that's generally when I've tempted fate and I've cocked things up. So, just for clarity, let's do the same again on the inlet side. So rotating the engine the right way. It massively helps if you've orientated your buckets the right way. A bucket has, in fact I can show you, let me fast forward. Right, the bucket has a little dint out of it, which is how you get the shim in and out. So what you want is that dint on the inside of the engine. So it means if it's like that, it's a bugger to get the shim out. It's not. You take the weight off and then you just kind of knock it round till it's in the right place. But if they're set in the right place to start with, it just makes life easier. Right, so next one. Now there isn't space to do it on the inside. This only comes in from the outside. As I'm waxing lyrical about how to do this, if this still ultimately doesn't work, I may look a bit foolish. Hopefully in this upload I should be able to get it back together, but it depends on, as usual, other stuff outside of bikes and life and stuff. Now, keeping an eye on which way it's turning when I'm turning, again turning the lobe away from the tool. Bucket comes up, gets caught on the tool, moving the lobe out of the way so that I can get into the shim. The last one came out really easily and made me look good. This one's not going to. Let me grab another spiky tool. Another spiky tool. Come on, you bugger. Oh, there we go. Shim out. Shimo. 275. Am I expecting a 275? Yes, I am, and it's a 265 in. Again, off shot. I've got it all labelled up and ready to go. Not sure if you can see that. No, trust me, 265. Trust me. Would I lie to you? I'm a hobby mechanic. Note the word hobby. So we're in, it's settled. Let's just roll him round. Again, making sure I'm not rolling the lobe into the tool. See if there's a click. Let's see if you can hear it this time. Tiny. Oh, there you go. So that's it. Pinged in. So the weight is on the lobe, not on the tool. So, you know. Right, job's a good one. I'm not going to film me doing the rest of them. Mostly because 2 and 3 are going to be a bit more orcs because they're hidden by the frame. This would be a damn sight easier if I've had the engine out. But I'm going to get on with those and I'll drop you back in. Right, and we're good. That took minutes. Makes me feel slightly daft for taking it all off and doing it last time. I think there's about £8 worth of tool there. It just saves so much time. If you're shimming and a old Yamaha, get one of them. Is all I can say. I've been round and confirmed that I'm within spec on all of them. The only one I'm slightly concerned about is exhaust 3. By my reckoning, it was a 255. I've got a 250 in there because I don't have a 255. I wonder if I've got a spare 260. Give me some. No, I think that's as good as I can get. It's only a tiny bit out. It's the I can't be bothered to find it. It's the next one up. It'll do, but mental note that one is slightly out. Right, I'm going to get the cover on. I've made a gasket, which is a little bit Heath Robinson, and I do need to put a little bit of sealant around these cups. That one seems fine, but I'll put a little bit around the cup, and then get the top on. I won't make you watch that. Right, and we have progress. I've got the old carbon manifolds on. I have made new gaskets for them to go on. Now I know I bought some new like cheap Chinese ones, but they're around somewhere, but I'm buggered if I can find them. So I've made up a good set out of what I had. So out of the ones that I took off, there was one with that chunk you can see out the base on it, which wasn't going to overly affect things, but I could swap it out. So I've made one decent set out of 3 that don't appear to have any leaks. Right, so let's move on, and next thing is to try and get the headers on, I suppose. Let's get on with that. Do you ever get the feeling that a bike hates you? All good. Getting the headers on. Banging in the exhaust gaskets as I go. All good. Till I get to these two that are slightly splayed, which isn't really an issue because I can do stuff about that. That's fine. Just trying to get it on. Not getting any joy at the moment, so I thought I'd just give them a bit of a squeeze, which, these things happen. Nice and simple on that one. Can I get a bolt on the end of that? Can I bollocks? I think the thread's gone on the tip, which is really irritating. I'm trying to get you to see, but this app is really bad with Zoom. Made some tentative attempts at pulling the stud out, just with some mole grips. No joy as yet. Yeah, I will crack on, I think. I mean, worst case, I can try whipping the end off the bolt, just a tiny bit, see how I get on. Right, audiobook rattling away in the background. I've sorted it. I just took the edge off. It's a crushed thread on the end, so did that, chased it with the old tap and chased the inside of the bolts as well, and we're good. Right, let's get these headers on. Right, I'm fighting through with air. He's back together. Those pipes, fuck me. The headers are in 2 pairs. One pair is slightly longer than the other. Trying to work out which is which and get that back together took absolutely freaking forever. But they're on. They're nipped up, done. I've chucked the carb on. I did take the boots out from the airbox to be able to get it in. The airbox was whilst I was chasing another issue. If this plays, then yeah, I don't know what to do with it as yet. What I thought was I'd give it a go. But what I then realised was I got all set up, all excited. Got a completely dead battery. And it's way too late for me to start jumping. And what I was trying to say there was jump starting bikes, but this is me responding to the number of people saying I should be using a clip-on or a remote mic. Pissing battery runs out and doesn't fucking tell you. Yeah, to the tank. I've got another fucking hole in it. Frustratingly. Perfectly timed when I'm recording that an aeroplane goes over the top, but hey. So where I've had it on its base, obviously it's got the tap on one side which kilters it over to the right hand side. It's got the tube, if you like, down the middle, so the fuel's been sat on the right hand side of the tank, not on the left, and there's that pinhole on the left. I don't know why I'm staring at my gas meter there. What I'm trying to do is just see whether or not you can see, it's there, and you can see on the top of my workbench, aka my bin, getting wet underneath it. So it's a fairly good one. Now I have stripped, repaired, resealed. Obviously the resealant just hasn't got to that bit, which is really frustrating, but you live and learn. But I've spent so long on this tank and it's just not playing. There has to be a point where I just think it's just too much, and whether or not I just go and bite the bullet and buy a replacement, or whether or not I go for another sealant over the top of that and then try and blend it in, yada yada yada. I have tried soldering over the top of them. It just doesn't work. Not the kit that I've got. Brazing might be a better option, but it's just really not playing. So we shall see. The option may well be just to get rid and get another one, which will be tank number 3 for this tank, for this bike, i.e. the one that it came with being this one, and maybe another one. More tanks than Del Boy. At least I'm not cutting them up and welding them onto bikes, using the word welding incorrectly. Right, and there we go, all packed away in sunshine. I'm in a t-shirt, for crying out loud. Whatever next. Yeah, annoying on Mick. Sorry, that the battery's deed. Even more annoying that this tank has got a leak, albeit I'd rather find out now than another point. That's really frustrating, but frankly, I really quite enjoy taking a hammer to that. At some point, and it might just be a replace. I don't know. I might see if I can fix it, but there's just so many of the fucking things on it that I've dealt with. To find one that I've missed is incredibly frustrating. Potentially tank liner didn't meet it. I don't know, but I'd rather it did it now before I had paint on it. I really wanted to give the bike a try. It is charging. I had carefully rattled through, trying to get everything together so I could try it, but battery's dead and it's not playing. So there may well be a midweek update of a startup attempt on a dummy tank. We'll see how we go. I'll have a think about the tank, whether or not I try and seal that pinhole. Don't know. I might just bite the bullet and buy a decent one rather than keep spending medium money on slightly fucked ones. We shall see. Right, that'll do me for another one. Next one should be trying to start this up. I do have a decent set of forks. You can see the fork oil coming out of those. Decent set of forks to go on that. I have been polishing them up in the background. They're stashed somewhere in the back and beyond there. And we're getting somewhere, I think, with Mick. We got quite a long way, and we had to come back. Looking back, I've had him about 8 months or so. I think more than that now, which is unheard of for me. But I'm determined, I'm reinvigorated on this bad boy to get him going. Cheers all, and I'll catch you later. Ta-da.